This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Nick George.
Hi, Fort Collins. Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a leather worker that's newly introducing himself to Fort Collins? His work is amazing. You should see it online. One might be closer than you think. Okay, I'm going to redo that, dude. Let me just start here, and then I'll cut that part off.
Yeah, no worries.
Hi, Fort Collins. Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a leather worker? One might be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Jacob Clack with Clackdaddy Leather. Jacob, how's it going?
I'm doing well. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. We're excited to learn all about you and your profession. Tell us about your business.
Well, mainly I'm a leather worker. I do specialize in carving and tooling designs on leather, usually in like the Western kind of, what you would see on like really nice saddles, that kind of style. So yeah, but I can do basically anything. I've done characters and business logos. Basically, if you do it with the right kind of leather, you can make any design you want and put it on to any product.
Wow. How did you get into this business?
I guess it started back in like 2020. I was doing my job in Texas. I was working for disability determination services, which was super boring. And I was looking for a hobby to get into, and I found leather work. I wanted to make like a tool belt, I think was my original design. And then I was on the subreddit, the leather worker subreddit, and I saw these dudes doing these crazy carvings with all these awesome designs on leather. And I was just like, how do they do that? So then it just snowballed. I looked it up, started working on it, practicing, and then just kind of kept getting more and more into it. And then, here we are.
Does it take a similar skill set as tattoo art?
It's actually very similar. It's more like the tattoo artists. If you've ever seen tattoo artists in like the Asian, where they, where they hit it with the pick. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen that?
Oh, old school, without a machine.
Without a machine, exactly. So it's more similar to that skill set in a lot of ways. Or if you've ever seen somebody engrave metal engraving by hand, it's kind of similar to that as well.
What are some myths or misconceptions in your industry?
When I got started, it was, I wanted to do everything that I saw everybody else doing, which was, it just takes time and practice. But when I first got started, I was super, what's the word I'm looking for? I was very disheartened after my very first attempt at tooling something. It looked horrible. It was just like, I was like, man, this is really bad. Like, how can these guys do all this really cool stuff? And this looks so bad. And just guys were telling me, like, you just got to practice. And I was like, okay, well, and so that's what I did. I just started putting in the work, and then it got exponentially better. So I think the biggest misconception is that not everybody can do it. I think that if you put in practice, it's something that anybody can do. That's why it's a really great hobby for people to pick up.
Who are your target customers, and how are you attracting them now? Typically, we find out when there's a unique business that most people aren't even educated about, they have no knowledge of. There's a huge market of people you've already discovered would love you if they knew you existed, but they're almost there. Like they own saddles, for instance.
Right.
Who's that untapped market that's almost there and just that you're after, and how are you reaching them?
Well, I would say it's not necessarily an untapped market because everybody who does, any kind of rodeo scene, they all know leather workers. They all have stuff that has tooling on it, belts or rope cans or anything else, or their saddles. I would say breaking into that market is a challenge because there are lots of dudes who do it already that are really good at it. So you kind of just have to be a step better than everybody else. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now, is just trying to improve my skills as much as possible to break into that market. It's been happening recently, though. I've gotten more and more. I've gotten a couple of fairly big country artists that have had me make guitar straps for them recently, so that's been pretty cool. But yeah, they're getting onto the rodeo scene. That would be nice.
And we know that marketing is the heart of every successful business. Have you ever thought about marketing yourself through a podcast?
This is the first time I've been invited on a podcast. I'm definitely open to it, but yeah, I've never, you were the first person to approach. So yeah, I'd love to do more of them.
Outside of work, what do you do for fun?
Outside, this is what I do for fun.
Good
I'm
answer.
not like, it started off as what I did for fun and then it's built into a business, but it's still fun for me. So yeah, this is what I do in my spare time other than hanging out with my kids.
Yeah, I get that. Jacob, let's switch gears for a second. Can you describe a hardship or a life challenge that you overcame and how it made you stronger? What comes to mind?
Quitting my job, a stable job, that was definitely a hardship. It was not easy to get off the ground, just because there's a lot of equipment that you have to purchase from the get-go. So like I was definitely in the hole for a while. So just slowly, just putting that work out there, on a consistent basis and, trying to market myself on Instagram, which is primarily, I'd say like 90% of my business comes off of Instagram right now. So yeah, just trying to consistently post and get your stuff out there so people see it. It's been tough, especially the whole Instagram thing, getting on the right side of that algorithm is always a challenge. And they change it, so it's an ongoing challenge.
Are you mail order only, or are you a retail front somewhere?
I do not have a retail front. I mean, technically, I have registered with Fort Collins as a home business, so I think I could do limited retail sales, is what they said. But yeah, I don't have necessarily like a retail front. It's almost all inquiries coming in through the website or Instagram.
No, that keeps you efficient. I get it. So Jacob, please tell our listeners one thing that they should absolutely remember about Clackdaddy Leather.
The one thing to remember is that I can make any design and put it on anything you want.
Interesting. Jacob, can you tell our listeners all the ways that they can find you online other than the Instagram you just mentioned, and then maybe a phone number at the end?
Yeah, I don't have a business phone number. So I'm in the process of getting one. So I don't want to put out my personal phone number, but yeah, clackdaddyleather.com, Instagram, Clackdaddy Leather. I'm on Facebook. I started a TikTok a while ago, even though I haven't really done much with that because I'm not sure if they're going to ban it or not. So I'm like, I don't want to put all this work into another thing.
Well, Jacob, I really appreciate you being on the show. We wish you and Clackdaddy Leather the absolute best moving forward.
Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate you having me on.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfortcollins.com. That's gnpfortcollins.com or call 970-438-0825.